5 clear signs that a man is using you. In this video, we will discuss the moments that indicate that a man is simply taking advantage of a woman in a relationship. So, in order. The first is the investment in the relationship. You can understand everything by how much a man invests in the relationship. A man who values relationships, who cares about a woman and needs her, will always invest in the relationship. So, the contribution to a relationship can be emotional when a man shares his feelings, emotions, experiences, difficult situations, and joyful events. However, with a woman he is using, he will not do this. He will not share his inner experiences, feelings, or emotions. This creates an emotional closeness. If you sense that a man is closed off from you, it is always felt, which may indicate that he is simply using you. Next is financial or unfairness. That is, if you realize that, for example, you are covering most of the expenses, whether you live together or are even married, but the man is hiding his income in every possible way, and you are paying for the apartment, groceries, and clothing for the children, taking all the burden upon yourself while the man seems to be indifferent, it indicates that he has his own plans for life, a reluctance to invest in the relationship, and a reluctance to invest in the woman, which suggests that she is not his woman. And that is why a man, without investing in a woman, can simply use her for as long as it is convenient and comfortable for him. Next, he avoids talking about the future. A man always plans everything. Let's say he plans, for example, regarding relationships, family, children, and he knows what he wants from life. But if he doesn't communicate any of this to you, it means that perhaps you simply do not fit into his plans and the man is just using you. Moving on. Not ready to compromise. And this is a very important indicator. When a man is not ready to compromise, meaning he is not willing to meet halfway, he is not willing to hear the woman's opinion, he is not willing to consider her interests, it seems unimportant to him. At this moment, the man is, let's say, shouting with all his morning energy that he is not afraid to lose such a woman. In other words, are you willing to tolerate such treatment? Well then, if there's no patience, if it doesn't suit you, then goodbye. That is to say, it sounds something like this. So, if a man is unwilling to compromise, it means that he is self-centered, focused only on his own feelings and emotions and on his own problems. And this indicates that he has no feelings for the woman, which means the man is simply using such a woman. He may make unilateral decisions, meaning that everything he decides on his own. And what does the woman feel in this relationship? She feels insignificant and overwhelmed. And of course, this is not the state that a woman would want to experience next to a man. For example, he does something without asking for your opinion, which indicates his inability to partner and his lack of readiness. In other words, he is willing, for example, to use a woman for his own interests, but he is not ready to do anything for her, consider her opinion, or make compromises. Next, he manipulates. This is a very important indicator in a relationship, suggesting that long-term relationships will definitely not work here. In other words, as long as one person endures the range of emotions that the manipulator pours onto their victim, such a relationship will continue. So, a man who resorts to manipulation is, for example, an emotional roller coaster where he swings back and forth. This could be a narcissist. By oscillating the relationship, that is, doing something pleasant and then something negative, he does everything to make it easier to manipulate the victim. There can be no talk of serious, happy, strong relationships. With a manipulator, both guilt and pressure. If you constantly feel guilt in your relationship, if you realize that you are making decisions that you wouldn't want to make, and if you feel this pressure on yourself, it again indicates that you are simply being used in the relationship. Such phrases may occur: if you loved me, you would act this way or that way, or you always ruin everything with your behavior, with your desires. That is, this pressure, the imposition of guilt, is a way of manipulation to make the victim want nothing, desire nothing, feel nothing, so that it becomes even easier to control her. Furthermore, he does not respect you. When a man loves the woman he has chosen, he naturally respects the choice he has made. He respects the person next to him. He respects certain desires of that person. He does not try to change anything. He does not try to break that person. If there is no respect in the relationship, and you constantly hear criticism and dissatisfaction directed at you, such as how you dressed, how you cleaned, how you cooked, or how you spoke, it only indicates a lack of respect for your choices. And again, it may indicate that the man does not value the person who is by his side. That is, he understands that such treatment is allowed towards this woman, and he fears nothing. And this again indicates that he is not afraid of losing the woman he is using. And the ignoring of problems, your problems. He does not ignore his problems, but what happened between you is all nonsense. Your emotions are nonsense. Your tears are nonsense. Everything that happens to him is valuable, but your feelings and emotions are all insignificant. This again speaks to the lack of respect for you. And the last sign is that he is not willing to support you in difficult moments. Again, a man who is only focused on himself in a relationship is a man who uses a woman. When a man loves a woman, when he is engaged in the relationship, he wants to do something. He wants to help. He respects the woman who is by his side. He does something. He supports her when she is struggling, when she is crying. He feels her emotions and wants to ease her life in some way, to do something for her that makes it easier for her. But if a woman is insignificant to a man, if he is using her, for example, not considering her for the future, then why should he invest in such a woman? After all, it is energy consuming, as it will take some resources. So if a man takes something in a relationship, possibly takes a lot, but does not give anything in return, do not delude yourself with the illusion that this is such a person. This person is simply not interested because he does not feel what you would like him to. This man is just using her as long as it is comfortable and convenient for him. That's all for this video. It was me, Alisa Vardomska. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, and goodbye everyone.